All right, what is going on, RGT Army? It is January 7th. 2020. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a good one. So if you missed CES 2020, don't worry, got the full scoop. But I do want to say shout out to everybody that came out and rocked out with us for the actual show. It was definitely interesting, definitely watching it with you guys live. But without further ado, let's definitely get into this gaming news because there's definitely a lot to cover. So during this week, there was a lot of hype and definitely a lot of anticipation for the show, and I definitely went into this particular event with pretty much my expectations pretty low. I wasn't really expecting no hardware reveal from Sony when it came to PlayStation 5, though I did expect one particular key thing to happen here, and unfortunately Sony did not opt to do that, which has me thinking about things in a completely new perspective, but we'll get into that later. The PlayStation 5 was mentioned at CES 2020, and Jim Ryan came out on the stage to show the official banner for the PlayStation 5, and that kind of was the big reveal for the PlayStation 5. Pretty much him coming out and saying that he's very proud to share with us the banner. Now, this right here has been met with a little criticism on Twitter. However, the situation does stand as follows. Sony is trending on Twitter, which kind of made me think of a particular thing, but again, I'm gonna get to that in a second. So with them showing off the banner, the first thing Jim Ryan did talk about when it came to PlayStation 5 was kind of a rundown of what we covered on the channel through numerous videos. For example, 3D audio sound. 3D audio sound was one of the first things I talked about for PlayStation 5. Of course, they talked about the ultra high-speed SSD, where we showed the Spider-Man demo. We talked about that. Hardware-based ray tracing is another thing they confirmed at this event as well. And of course, Ultra HD Blu-ray drive and the haptic trigger feedback for the DualShock 5. Now, I did a video for that as well, and I'll have a link for that in the description below, or I'll have it at the end of this video if you guys want to watch that as well. But definitely not a whole lot new was shown here. So PlayStation 5 was, we did get a nod to it, but we didn't necessarily get the info that we were hoping for. Not even a tease for an event that could happen potentially next month. So where does that leave me with PlayStation 5? It turns out to me, or it would appear to me, that Sony would rather announce these particular things and these particular events through Twitter exclusively, it feels like. You notice how majority of the main particular announcements have not necessarily come from big actual shows or big events. They've actually come courtesy of Twitter from Sony themselves. When it came to the actual specifications from the Wired interview with Mark Cerny, or when it came to the actual controller, these were all through Twitter. So this actually makes me believe that we're going to get more just from Twitter. So with that being said, unfortunately, we're just not going to get anything else until we hear strictly from them. But they did assure us that PlayStation is definitely committed when it comes to their first-party lineup, and that PlayStation games will continue to drop regardless, and we will still have those AAA bangers that most certainly matter. He definitely went on to talk about The Last of Us Part 2, of course, Ghost of Tsushima, and many more. So you guys know it's going to be a pretty packed year, but again, when it comes to this particular year, yes, there's going to be a lot of content from third party and first party, but you also you're going to have to balance the actual reveal of the console as well. Now, one thing is for certain, this definitely leads us to E3. E3 is definitely going to be pretty damn big this year, so I'm guessing they'll probably save the hardware reveal for E3, but everything else accordingly going into it, I'm guessing they're just going to announce this later, and we'll just have to wait and see when that's actually going to happen. So that's what's going on there. But there you go. They got the word out. PlayStation 5 is indeed happening, and the word is definitely out. So there you go for PlayStation 5. Now let's go into PlayStation 4. They did talk about PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4, without a doubt, has been a massive success for Sony, and there's been tons of news, or not news, but there's been tons of tons of milestones hit for the PlayStation 4. Sony has officially sold 106 million units worldwide when it comes to the PlayStation 4, and that is attributed to over 1.5 15 billion PlayStation 4 games being sold on the platform, which is a massive milestone for both of them. So congratulations to Sony for that. They also went on to announce that PlayStation VR has sold 5 million units and that they have an average monthly, an average monthly viewer rate or user rate of 103 million users worldwide. And as of right now, as it currently stands, there are 38.8 million PlayStation Plus active users. So that's what's going on there, and that is definitely a big milestone. So congratulations to Sony again for that. Now, to end this video, I know a lot of you are thinking, well, there's got to be something more to this, right? Because we did see a while ago, if you guys remember, the future is coming. Now, Craig Harris had an interesting point about this. Shout out to him. He talked about the TVs. I personally am going to have to disagree after what we just saw. The future is coming was not referring to their TVs. It was not referring to PlayStation 5, even though we thought it was. No, PlayStation 5 is going to have a different tagline. The tagline, the future is coming, has to go to this new concept card that they showed. The new concept card that Sony showed was called the Vision S. The Vision S is Sony's new particular, I would say their new technically advanced car, right? It's showing off their new improvements when it comes to sensors and in terms of abilities. Let's talk about it. The main features of the Vision S is the fact that it has 33 sensors placed around the car, which can detect people and other vehicles both inside and outside the car to provide driving support. It also incorporates Sony's 360 or 360 reality audio to provide an immersive experience. And it has speakers built into the car's seats, and it also has this insane panoramic screen that faces the actual front and the dash. So it's like there's like screens in the front, and it's like has this crazy user interface with like monitors in the back as well for anybody who's like in the passengers, or not the passenger, but in the back seat. So that's what they were showing off there. So that was their big thing. There was the new car. It looks cool. It looks cool. For those you're interested in buying it, there's no actual price point for this thing, so this thing's coming later. So nothing of that nature has been, like set in stone in terms of when this thing will launch. But that was a pretty cool reveal. It was pretty cool for that. Not necessarily anything else. Not something that I was, was like jumping out my seat over, but that was their big standout thing. So with the tagline going around that Sony is quote unquote broke, I would think a lot of you guys might want to evaluate that, because Sony is definitely far from broke when it comes to investing into things. They definitely got a lot of money to go around, and it's definitely showing. So that right there was pretty much Sony's CES 2020. Now, one thing I definitely want to get off the chest and definitely want to announce, or should I say just get it out there for all of you guys to watch or listen. Now, as someone who has made it a mission for 2020 to be very consistent for you guys on the channel, as you guys already know, 2019, near the end, I kind of took a big step back from YouTube and actually contemplated doing other particular things on the side, to be honest with you. Going into 2020, I'm going to tell you right now, there is definitely going to be a lot of speculation. There is going to be a lot of news that drops that is definitely going to range from confirmed by either the executives, or it's going to be stuff that is just thrown out there for the sake of provoking the inevitable console war, which ironically does not actually exist. So you're going to see a lot of this in the coming months. In the coming weeks, you're going to see a ton of this from different YouTubers and different things. But one thing I definitely want to announce to all of you here on this channel, that Big Cloud Gaming will not associate, nor will Big Cloud Gaming even participate in something so silly as this, and instead Big Cloud Gaming will continue to be one of the most consistent channels you can think of when it comes to gaming news, as everything will indeed be covered on this channel. Until further ado, I do say thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed the content, definitely consider hitting that like button and definitely sharing the video around with a friend to help spread the word. If you are definitely new to this channel, I would definitely urge you to hit that subscribe button, as there's going to be tons of content on the channel that I'm pretty sure is going to be something for you. Also, hit that bell icon so you never miss a video. Until next time, this is Big Cloud Gaming, aka Ryan. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have a blessed one. Later.